11 сентября 1976 года в Торонто прошел матч Кубка Канады между сборными СССР и Канады. Это был важнейший матч для обеих команд, так как сборной Советского Союза была нужна только победа, она бы позволила команде Виктора Тихонова обойти канадцев и выйти в финал. А вот сборную Канады в целом устраивала и ничья. Но разве кленовые листья умеют играть на ничью? Тем более, когда вывеска матча Канада-СССР на турнире всех сильнейших, каким в то время являлся лишь Кубок Канады. Составы обеих команд пестрили фамилиями самых настоящих хоккейных глыб того времени. Даже несмотря на то, что у сборной Советского Союза отсутствовала тройка лидеров Харламов, Петров и Михайлов. В тот вечер на лед Maple Leafs Garden вышли Бобби Ор, Владислав Третьяк, Фил Эспозито, Марсель Дион, Александр Мальцев, Виктор Шалимов, Денис Потвин, Виктор Жлуктов, Гиля Флер, Бобби Халл, Жильбер Перо, Валерий Васильев, Хелмут Балдерис, Бобби Кларк, Владимир Лученко, Ленни Макдональд, Пит Маховлич, Сергей Капустин, а также Ситлер, Гейни, Лапоинт, Савар, Робинсон, Беллидинов, Александров, Лебедев, Фикулов, Скворцов, Белоусов, Ковин, Бабинов, Гусев, Крикунов, Репнев и братья Голиковы. Несмотря на то, что сборную СССР в Советском Союзе называли экспериментальной сборной, что лично, на мой взгляд, неуважение к великим мастерам из той команды, у той команды были очень неплохие шансы на победу в турнире. И, конечно же, организаторы Кубка Канады ожидали увидеть команды Скотти Боумана и Виктора Тихонова в финале, поэтому данный матч стал по сути досрочным финалом всего турнира. Ведь несмотря на сильную чехословацкую сборную, на нее мало кто ставил в финальных матчах.
Tries to get it ahead, it hits the official. Steve shot right in front, a shot. Got Peter Mahavlich from close range. Canada corner. Robinson off the boards for Dion. Dion is checked. Esposito carries on. Esposito going in with Hull. Hull takes the pass. Just quite managed to quick and quite get a stick on it. Another shot in front of Cilia. And there'll be a penalty coming up to the Soviet Union as Bobby Hull was completely tied up as he tried to reach that pass from Esposito. Coming back for Canada. In over the line. Here's Hull's shot. And a good defensive play by Luchenko as he got his stick on it. Potvin inside the line. Right in front to Lafleur. Guy Lafleur, number 10, back to Potvin. His shot to score! Deflected in front by Perron.
На 8-й минуте встречи счет в матче открыли канадцы. С передач Потвина и Лефлера шайбу забросил Перо 1-0.
Ahead to Perreault on the far side for McDonald. Back to Sittler going in with Perreault. A shot. The rebound. It goes wide. As Perreault let that one fly. Gusev. And Reggie Leach are after the puck. Now Maltsev has it. Maltsev for the Soviets. In over the line. Checked by Barber. And that's cleared to the side by Vachon. The Soviets come racing back. Alexandrov. In over the line. Fakes the shot. Stops it back. Here's Luchenko. His shot. And Vachon's got another shot. On the backhand shot and the rebound, the Soviets tie it up.
Well, Zlutkov made a very good play in the neutral zone, just deflecting the pass to Alexandrov to start it off. But here we have them going over the line. The original shot was stopped by Roky Vachon, and the rebound was dropped by him to tie up the game for the Soviet Union.
Через 3,5 минуты после гола Перо Викулов сравнял счет. Передачи на свой счет записали Александров и Лученко 1-1.
Savard gets the puck over to Steve Shutt, number 22. Shutt with 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the opening period to Lafleur. Lafleur shot hits the side of the net. Lafleur takes a stiff check from Basilia. Mahavlich keeps it in. Watched by Kapustin. Broken up by Maltsev. Maltsev for the Soviets. A pass to Kapustin, back to Maltsev. And he has trouble with the bouncing puck as they go end to end. Here in the opening period, Lafleur to Shutt. Shutt over the line is checked by Vasilia. Vasilia right in front. And Repniev had trouble with that. Here's Peter Mahavlich. His shot, and then hits his skate and goes wide. Billy Letinov cleared it right to Guy Lafleur. Lafleur gets a shot, stopped in front, and back come the Soviets. Play is in the Soviet zone. Number 16, Krikyanov, lost it. Here's a chance for Mahavlich. Back to LaFleur, a shot. Shutt gets a shot. Oh, and what a stop by Tretiak. He just reached out with Steve Shutt trying to pack it home.
Well, that was just a great save by Tretiak. But Shutt let up a little bit. He had him at his mercy. If he works a little harder and puts that puck up, it's a goal. Here we have it off the side net. LaFleur in his backhand. The puck is laying there just a little harder, although Babanov had the lumber on Shutt. He gets the puck just a little over his stick. It's the second Team Canada goal, but he couldn't get it up.
1-1 tie with 3 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the opening period. From the draw, it comes back to the point. Here's a chance for Potvin, and Tretiak loves that. Clears it into the corner into the Soviet zone. Bobby Hull's after it. His shot just went whistling by the goal. The Soviet player is dumped by Hull. Here's Perreault. Oh, that's not hit the post, but not outside the blue line. Hull lets it go. Perreault in front. Back to Potvin. Into the corner to Perreault. The Hull scores!
В конце первого периода Бобби Халл вновь вывел канадцев вперед. Ассистентские баллы на счету Перо и Потвина. 2-1.
1 minute and 38 seconds remain in the opening period. Vikulov for the Soviet Union. Up ahead to Kovin, going in with Alexandrov. Kovin shot, and Vashon got a piece of that as it goes behind the net. Orr takes Kovin into the boards heavily. Soviets get it back to the point. Here's Gusev's shot, and that's wide. Alexandrov at the side in front. Kovin can't handle it, and Gainey comes back. Gainey for Canada. Sippler on the far side with Lanny McDonald. A shot. Tretiak stops it. Bortsov, number 17, as the Soviets try to come back. Up to their own blue line, led by Balderas. Balderas over the Team Canada line. A shot, and Vashon steers that with his glove. 22 seconds remaining. Potvin run into his check. And Canada, led by Potvin, up to his own blue line. Clears it ahead to LaPointe. LaFleur right in, a shot. Tretiak stops that. 8 seconds remaining in the opening period. LaFleur gets it again at center. Lost it as Luketov with 2 seconds. His shot. And LaPointe stops that as the bell goes to end the first period, Tom. And what an exciting first 20 minutes of play. LaPointe is tied up. Alexandrov clears it to Luketov. A shot, and Vashon stops that. Back comes Steve Shutt of Canada. Shutt a long pass for LaFleur. LaFleur goes after it, gets by Gusev, but it's icing against Team Canada. Out to Sportsev, and back comes Kovin. A race for it. Bobby Orr beats him to the puck, takes a check and an elbow. Cal Esposito goes in to help out. Balderas right in front, and it's intercepted by Lanny McDonald. McDonald back with Sittler taking the pass on the left. Drop pass for McDonald, a shot. What a stop by the veteran goaltender. Short-handed situation. Potvin has 31 seconds remaining in his penalty. Back with the Soviets, Alexandrov. Right in front, a shot, and that stopped as Luketov let it fly. Vasiliev tries to keep it in, and Maltsev is knocked down. Here's a chance for Savard. Savard shot, and Tretiak stops it. The rebound is knocked loose, and the Soviets come back. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to Potvin. It's Canada 2, and the Soviet Union 1. Larry Robinson returns it to Potvin. Here's Dion. His shot goes wide. Robinson keeps it in. He's checked. Puck kept in by Bobby Hull. Hull at the side, a shot, and it goes wide at the Soviet goal and all the way back into the Team Canada zone. Potvin's after it, with Billy Letnov combining with Maltsev. Up on the right side goes Kapustin. Houston in over the line, watched by Savard, gets by him, and lets that shot fire right through the crease. Bobby Clark takes a check from Billy Letnov. Leach collides with the linesman. Here come the Soviets, led by Maltsev. Maltsev, watched by Savard, takes it behind the net, right in front, a shot. Oh, and Kapustin was knocked flat. Carter ahead to Leach. Leach at center for Canada. Long pass intended for LaPointe, right in, a shot, and Tretiak stops that as they again go end to end. Right from the draw, the puck goes wide of the Soviet goal. Lanny McDonald clears it off the boards to Daryl Sittler. Sittler's pass stopped by Lutsenko, but Esposito gets a crack at it. Esposito watched by Zlukta. Manages to clear it to an open wing. Lanny McDonald after it to Esposito. Right in front of the goal. Back to Robinson, his shot. And Petjak juggled that, but stopped it. Here's Sittler behind the net. Sittler in front. Oh, shot on Petjak. What a save by Vladislav Petjak. Point blank from Bobby Orr.
Well, Sittler moved right behind the net. Took his time. Here he is gaining possession of the puck. Bobby Orr moves right into the slot. The pass is right on his stick. Petjak makes a very good stop, but we hadn't seen Orr for a while. He had to go off the ice to get his skate sharp. Here we see it again. Throws it into the slot. Bobby Orr moving in quickly. Good stop by Petjak.
Watch by Guy Lafleur. Bobinoff, number 4, a long pass to Balderas. Balderas going in with Colvin, drops it back. Colvin has it. Here's a shot, and that's stopped by Dennis Potvin. As number 21, Lebedev was set up perfectly in front. 9 minutes and 10 seconds remain to be played in the second period. Hull has it at center for Canada. Leaves it for Bobby Orr. Back to Hull. Hull coming over the line to Gilbert Perrault. Gets through the defense. Right in on goal. Shot. Oh, and it goes wide. And what a move by Gilbert Perrault. Inside his own line. A lead pass. Back comes the Soviet Union. Back to Kapustin. His shot. Oh, and what a check he takes as Hull and Bobby Orr collide. Billy Letnoff with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Here's a chance. Oh, and Orr cleared that as the Soviet player had a golden opportunity. With 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second period. On the right side, Lebedev. Lebedev into the corner, a pass in front, back to the line. Bobinoff shoots, and Bobby Orr stops that. Bobinoff keeps it in. Lanny McDonald comes up with it. McDonald long pass to Peter Mahavlich. Mahavlich in on goal. It goes wide. And Mahavlich's backhand shot was off the net. Out for Balderas. In over the line, right in on goal. Vashon got a piece of that as they go end to end. And what exciting action here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Up to center ice, a long shot wide off the target. 2 minutes and 38 seconds remain to be played. In behind the Soviet goal, Clark right in front, Barber's shot, and Gusev stopped that. Clark will try again, gets it back to Lapointe, he lets it go, scores! Deflected in front by Bill Barber.
Well, here we have the puck.
В концовке второго периода Билл Барбер сделал счет 3-1 с передач Кларка и Лапойнта.
Orr watched by Zlukta. Takes it off the boards. Gusev runs into him. Orr takes it behind the net. Still has the puck. Tries to get it in front. Taken by Perrault. Here's Hull. And Petjak stopped that. The on shot. And it goes wide. Bobinoff had trouble getting it out, but comes up with it. Bobinoff, a long pass. Here's a chance for the Soviets, led by Colvin. In over the line. Taking the pass. Lebedev. His shot. Rebound. Stopped by Vashon. There's a shot by Balderas. Goes wide. Potvin tied up. Peter Mahavlich carries on. Mahavlich watched by Billy Letnoff. Has him tied up. Puck goes loose. Potvin in to help out. Gives it to Lafleur. Lafleur at the side of the goal. Dumps it back. Mahavlich shot. Stopped in front. Loose puck. Oh, and Petjak robs Guy Lafleur from close range. Lafleur with Maltsev. Taken by Vasilia. Bobinoff out to center, and back comes Balderas for the Soviets. Long shot, and Vashon stops that. And he'll be at another training camp along with the rest of the players as NHL and WHA teams open their training camp next week. Shot on goal. Petjak steers it off. Bob Gainey gets a shot. Here's Sittler in front. Oh, and Petjak robbed Daryl Sittler from right in front of the goal. In front. Back comes Canada. Sittler, a long pass for Gainey too far. And Vasiliev to Maltsev. Right to Larry Robinson. Robinson in over the line for Canada. At the side of the net, his hook from behind taken out of the play. And it's down the ice to Bobby Orr. Orr keeps it at the line, though. His shot hits Larry Robinson. Orr gets it again. Right in front. Oh, the deflection. And Petjak stops that with Daryl Sittler racing in, but he lost his stick with 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And Canada kept in there by Guy Lafleur. Back for it now, Krikyanov. Krikyanov to Bobinoff. Intercepted, a pass in front. Back to Guy Lapointe. Lapointe inside the line, lets one fly, and that's kicked out. Mahavlich has the backhander to LaFleur, and Tretiak reaches and gloves that.
While Team Canada controlling the puck, throwing the puck around very, very well, not throwing the puck blindly away. Here we have Guy Lafleur taking it first of all, then Big Peter taking his time back to Lafleur. The shot from a bad angle, but Tretiak holds onto it for the draw. But Team Canada controlling the puck inside the Soviet line.
7 minutes and 11 seconds remain here in the hockey game. Canada 3, the Soviet Union 1. Both teams are at full strength. Puck is taken by Shutt. Tretiak stops that. Repniev, number 24, gets by Leach. Back come the Soviets. Repniev in over the Team Canada line, drops it back to Kapustin, and a pad stop by Rogi Bashar. Trikinov inside his own blue line. Watched by Daryl Sipner. As the cheers come up here at Maple Leaf Gardens, many people are standing. 15 seconds remain. Everyone is standing. Canada 3, the Soviets 1. 8 seconds remaining in the game. Trikinov in his own blue line, checked by McDonald. Tommy Orr, 1 second. There goes the bell. The game is over. Canada 3, the Soviet Union 1.
Встреча завершилась убедительной победой канадцев со счетом 3-1. Сборная Канады полностью переиграла сборную СССР, и во многом благодаря хорошей игре Третьяка счет не стал разгромным, ведь по броскам канадцы перебросали советскую сборную 43-28. Надо сказать, что практически на всех турнирах всех сильнейших сборная СССР выигрывала свои матчи против сборной Канады за счет великолепной игры вратаря и феноменальной реализации своих моментов, особенно в большинстве. Если какой-то из этих компонентов не работал, то положительного результата советская сборная не добивалась. Как раз через 5 лет на Кубке Канады 1981 года Владислав Третьяк проведет великолепный турнир, а особенно финальный матч, и, конечно же, реализация моментов будет на высочайшем уровне. Лучшими игроками того матча были признаны Бобби Орр у канадцев и Александр Мальцев у сборной Советского Союза. Награду вручал легендарный Горди Хоу. Спасибо вам за просмотр. Если вам понравилось это видео, то ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал и увидимся в следующих видео.